Hey everyone, so welcome to the $15 club where we're just going to be sewing half square triangles and make a beautiful quilt. I'm so overwhelmed with all the support. I'm happy with the colors that you guys have picked, that obviously you guys like the same colors I like. So I'm going to do a little bit of demo on the thangles because Sue reminded me today that not everybody knows how to do a thangle. But once you learn this technique, there probably won't be any other that you use. At first, I wasn't a big fan of them, and then I started doing them again with this quilt, and I realized, okay, wait, I don't know what I just wasn't in love with the project before, because now I understand like how easy they are. So I'm going to show you a little bit here, and then I'll show you on the sewing machine, and then I'll show you the cutting and how the magic all comes together. And I hope you find this helpful. So at first you're going to get these two packages, two sheets, sorry, of thangles. You'll get a whole package in your pattern, and you should have enough to do your entire quilt with that. If you're not familiar with thangles, I'm a bit of a clipper and Sue is a bit of a pinner. It doesn't matter what method you use, you just find what works for you. Initially, I was a clipper. As of this morning, I was always a clipper. And then I decided to try Sue's pin technique because if you know me, I don't do pins that well. I really like the clips. But I'm just finding with the clips, you just have to make sure that when you flip it over, that everything is going to line up. And sometimes with the clips, you just have to give them a readjustment so you have your back of your thangles all nice and smooth. So regardless of what method, there's no wrong method. But what you're going to do with these on all these dotted lines, you're just going to sew. So you're going to sew all those dotted lines on both sides, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you can do like a whole stack of them that I have here. You can do one at a time, but I would recommend chain sewing because that's the easiest method to use. So I'll be back in one short second. Hey guys, so I'm just at my sewing machine. I have my leader fabric here, which I'm sure lots of you use. Mine's a little bit messy. I also use it to test decorative stitches on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have everything lined up. I'm going to line up right on the dotted line. And I'm literally just going to sew right down that dotted line. And you can see how easy that is. Then I am just going to get my next sheet ready. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to finish this guy off. And then I am going to go down the next dotted line. Super easy to do. Easy to follow with your feet, with your 1/4 inch foot, because you have that little gap in there. And I just find it's, if you just watch with your eyes, it's going to go right down the middle of that. Then when you're all said and done, hey guys, okay, so I finished a whole whack of these thangles. You can go ahead now and remove all your pins or your clips or whatever you've used. And you're going to now put it on your cutting mat. And all of these solid lines, you are going to cut along them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 solid lines to cut. And what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with 3 triangles. So from those 3 triangles, you now have one other diagonal line. So I'm going to take my cutter and I'm going to line up that solid line diagonally, and I'm going to give it a cut. Then you're going to notice on the thangle that there's this little itty bitty mark here. This side's taken care of. So this one, if you trim off that little line, you are then going to be left with, wait for it, a half square triangle with no dog ears. Ta-da! No dog ears. Nothing else to trim off. You're going to have a great half square triangle. So then what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry, this is my first video I've ever done, but you're going to take it to your ironing board, and if you have your paper side down and your dark side up, you're going to press it away, and this will ensure that that your seam is automatically pressed to the dark side. So there we have it. We have our beautiful half square triangle. And you're probably wondering, you got 4 colors. What am I going to do? You can mix and match. Like here I have green and purple. I have pink and blue. I have pink and green. I'm going to make a whole bunch of different ones. So now that I have this, my next step is I have the paper on the other side. So for me, I always like, I know they say you don't have to do this, but I always like to press it in the opposite direction, and I tear from the middle because I feel like it's more, thread is more strong in the middle than it is from tearing at the side. And if you tear this off, you now have your half square triangle all done. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I did do one little sample corner one so you could see, and I did mine in pink and blue. But as you can see, with all of my other half square, or not half squares, all my other fat quarters, I've cut up, and I'm going to also do in different colors. And you can use the picture that you have on your pattern as a guide, or you can just wing it and do your own thing. It's totally up to you, and you can totally make it your own. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it works. I hope this video works because I've never done one before. And I hope you guys all have a great time enjoying making this beautiful quilt. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.